Welcome to Politics and Painting. Let's get started. It's been exactly 1 week since Trump got elected, and let me tell you, it's been a long 10-year dictatorship. He signed 11 executive orders just on the border alone last week, mostly having to do with Mexico, but also been taunting Canada. Like, why are we sitting here taunting our closest, literally, physically closest allies? Also, shout out to Presidenta Sheinbaum, who, when Trump announced and signed the paperwork to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, she totally trolled him and created a map saying that Mexico was going to start calling America Norte Mexico. All right, I'm all about being northern Mexico. I was raised part-time in Mexico. Lived there for 1.5 years, spent every summer since I was about 5 down there. I love Mexico. And for anyone who wants to leave in the comments and go back to Mexico, oh my God, please. Oh my God, this line. Back to the orange crayon. This man has made everybody our enemy in a very short amount of time. I have a degree in journalism. I figured I should probably use it. So here we are. Trump is not trying to emulate Hitler. He's trying to emulate Putin. He's trying to get his cronies and his friends just a bunch of money. He just wants to make everybody richer, but he doesn't really understand basic economics, which is part of his problem. Tariffs he put in place, things are getting more expensive. We already knew that coming into this. Companies overseas and here already preemptively started like issuing tariff increases. As of Saturday, Mexico and Canada refused to sell steel to America, meaning that our buildings, infrastructure, bridges, things like that is going to get delayed, if not just halted, until we can have like American steel mills come in, which we don't really have that many and we can't produce as much as we need alone. We need the importation of it. We also have ICE going around to hospitals and schools waiting for parents to ask for paperwork. In that process, and I call it a process because it's more just like, rounding up people for no reason, but let's call it process for now. In that process, they've also detained a number of Navajo indigenous people. Native leaders are urging indigenous people to carry around their birth certificates, their certification of native blood, things like that, so that if ICE tries to detain them, they have proof that, oh my God, actually you guys are the ones invading my land. So that's what's going on there. And keep in mind, so like if we follow the money and know that Trump is trying to emulate his favorite person, Putin, the idea is that it reflects back to money, right? So why would they be detaining people? Well, he also rolled back a set of regulations that keeps privatization of prisons. So he rolled that back, meaning that privatized prison systems, which own detention centers, will be able to fill up detention centers, and those detention centers will get paid from the US government to house each and every one of these people. So does it really behoove them to deport these people? No, it behooves them to keep them in detention centers so they can keep taking American taxpayers and lining their pockets. And that is the end game of all of this. They're not worried about gang members. They're not worried about illegal immigration. Obviously, look at Musk. Look at half the people that he has been married to. Look at they don't actually care about illegal immigration. They're for it. They don't care. It's slave labor for the American corporation and the American companies. What they care about is the people who have sent them money, who run detention centers and privatized systems. That's who this is benefiting. It's not out of hatred, but they're sowing hatred to defend the actions that they're taking in order to make money. And it's disgusting. So far, Kansas is seeing the largest tuberculosis outbreak of the entire history of the United States. So we're seeing one of the largest outbreaks of tuberculosis. We have avian flu running rampant through the food system currently. Birds are dying. And our government, which is supposed to have these things in place to protect us, is literally not able to even give us any warnings. Our government's not able to warn us about anything. That's very troubling. We just stay diligent and keep our ears open and listening for things, because we're not gonna have apps that are giving us notifications for things like, hey, in your area there's a spike in blah blah blah, bird flu, COVID, whatever. That's troubling because that's our health, you know. We're not going to know that if we go to the grocery store that week if there's something that could kill us or our grandparents. It's horrifying to know that we're going into a world currently where we really have to survive, and we have to be able to stick up on our own, because the government isn't here to save you. It's not here to serve you anymore. As Biden said going out, it's an oligarchy right now. And AOC was right. He should have had that attitude way before it came to his last day. So this is what we're looking at. Our health systems put in place to keep us healthy are being torn apart. While California is on fire, FEMA's being dismantled. While wildfires rage, insurance rates are skyrocketing. People aren't going to be able to afford their insurance soon. People's homes are decimated, especially because of those insurance policies either went up or were canceled this past year, right before the wildfires started, months before the wildfires started. We're looking at border relations with two countries who have always been great go up in flames as well. Our closest allies are turning their backs on us. The people we've always known to be our enemies, our president is selling secrets to them, or maybe just outright gifting them to them at this point, for rape natural resources for their own benefit to line their pockets, which is why Biden put so many protections in place for national parks before he left, is because that's the game plan, because that's the Putin blueprint. So that's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to be just like his bestie, Vladimir Putin, and rape the natural resources for his own benefit so that he and his family can get super rich. In the meantime, he's using people like Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, all the other billionaires to his own benefit through their social media channels, because as we have heard Zuckerberg admit, social media buys elections. The truth is that we could all just stop using social media. Like, if we collectively wanted to, it's a lot harder for people who are content creators or have public entities to just quit that, because then there's no outlet for us to make money in the meantime while we figure out like where to go next and what to do. But we do need that. We need to know what that looks like. We need to figure out where that is, because the sooner that we can take money away from them, the better we all will be. Luigi Mangione shot and killed United Healthcare CEO. Since then, the United Healthcare has decreased value by over $40 billion. That's crazy. Well, we just look at shareholder profits, which is super sad. Just mixing the oranges here. It's a little bit hard because it's backwards for me, right? So I'm trying to layer and like deepen these colors in layers, which is an interesting thing to try and do backwards. It's fun. That's a good challenge. While we look around us, take note. Tweet out if you see ICE patrol anywhere, locking down schools, harassing parents. Remember, if you are a hospital worker and ICE comes in, you do not have to give them any information. You don't have to let them in. They have to have a warrant. People do not let these people into your homes. They have to have a warrant. What we do know is that Greenland's not for sale. What we do know is Sheinbaum, Presidenta de Mexico, is killing it. She just signed agreements with Europe, position North America's hub to be Mexico instead of America now. This is what happens when you try to isolate the country from the global economy. You end up giving space to another country to take it up. And it just so happens that the country that's taking up America's space is painting in politics. Thanks for stopping by.